We have learned so many concepts and we almost went through most of the course. Till now, we are using the ad hoc approach. That is, as soon as we get the problem, we start writing the code without any format or structure. Now, in introduction, I talk about that I would teach you not to write the code, but writing the code in an efficient manner. That's when function comes into the play. Till now, we are using the inbuilt function, but now it's time to create our own function. Let's just jump to our Jupyter notebook. Function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. You can pass the data known as parameters into a function, and after some computation, a function returns data as a result. In Python, a function is defined using the def keyword. Let's just create our own function. You need to write it def, then you need to write the function name. So I am going to write my function. And then you need to write the parentheses. If you remember correctly, that whenever we try to use any inbuilt function, we always write the parentheses after that. It's because it's the signature of a function. Whenever you see these parentheses after any variable, just get into your mind that it's a function. And then you write in the colon. When you press enter, you will see that the indentation came in. We just defined our function, and now you can write whatever script you want to execute. So let's first execute a print statement inside function. Alright, so now my function is complete. So how do I call this function? Now in order to call this function, you just had to write its name. So I am going to write my function. And then you need to put the parentheses. When you press shift enter, the code has been executed. We just use a print statement inside a function, but it's not much of a use. We use the function when we want some additional computation. So let's suppose I want to create a function that can calculate sum of two numbers. So let's just create a variable that is going to calculate the sum of 15 and 20. I can print a as well. So if I just compile it and if I run it, you can see it says 35. Now another way of doing this is using a return statement. Now when we use the return statement, it is going to return a value back to the function where it has been called. So let's just write here return a. Now if I just run it and if I again run it, you can see it says 35. It's the more elegant way to transfer information from one block of code to another. Let's just increase the complexity of a function. Now what I am going to do, I am going to write a function inside a function. It's called a nested function. So let's just create another function. First, let me create a print statement that says it's function 1. And after that, I am going to define a new function called my function 2. So in order to define a function, you need to write def keyword. Then you need to write the function name, function 2. Then you need to write parentheses and then you need to write colon. As soon as you write colon and press enter, you see the indentation came in. Then I am going to calculate again the sum of two numbers. This time, let's just take input from the user. Int input. And then we provide here label A. We take another variable B, int input. We provide in here variable B. And then we are about to print the sum of A and B. Right? So let's just compile it. It has been compiled. Now, when I execute it, you will only see function 1. There is a problem with the code. Why my function 2 is not working? It's because I have never called my function 2. In order to use a function, you need to call it. So went back to my function 1, and then I write in here my function 2. Function 2. Now, if I just compile it and if I now run it, now you can see function 1 and then it asks for value for a. That means our second function has been executed. So provide in value of a and then of b, and then you can see the result. This is how you work with the function. Next time, rather than creating 100 lines of codes in a single go, try to use the functions. In this way, you can keep track of all the functionalities that you have implemented in your code. And then maybe you can also reuse that code for computing some other tasks. That's why functions are very, very, very necessary.